Tonight, with Manchester's elite car squad.
Let me out, sir.
Mate!
And the driver has been detained.
Stolen cars with bogus identities.
How much have you paid for it?
I think it was 3.5.
So you've paid £3,500 for that car. How much do you think it's worth?
About 7, 8.
And the criminals behind the multi-million-pound deception.
If you see anything like that, chances are it's going to be fake.
In the UK, over 200,000 cars were stolen last year. More than half will never be recovered. But in Manchester, the city's police have a unique weapon to tackle this problem, an elite car crime unit.
CQ1 our second vehicle.
24 officers and a fleet of high-performance unmarked cars. It's their job to track down stolen motors and the thieves who take them.
I tend to work on a 3-day cycle. If we've not recovered that car within 3 days, we won't see that car again.
It's 2 a.m, the busiest time for the squad. PC's Paul Fletcher and Mike Bundy are on the lookout for car thieves in Didsbury, 5 miles south of the city centre.
Stick out a bit up here. On a night shift, there's certain places we'll go at different times in the night because of where it's happening. So if something does come over the radio, you know, we're there.
A call's come in about a car refusing to stop for a police patrol.
Oh, vehicle making off.
9640.
Charlie 3.
Right, I'll get back to you, mate. There's a pursuit on the Charlie 3.
Where?
Fletcher and Bundy are experts in pursuing cars, and they're needed by the cops giving chase.
Don't he?
CQ19, CK.
India 99, the police helicopter, has the driver in its sights.
India 99, we're above this vehicle, past this road. Watch it past this road.
CN845 on 20 seconds away. When you're making ground, the car appears to go backwards because you're literally sat in the car and you're like, come on, and you look at the speed, you're 110 miles an hour.
India 99, we're above this vehicle, past this road.
Ahead are the blue lights of the police van chasing the car.
On the long straight road that it was, you could see these little flashing blue lights in the distance, something, and you're just like, come on.
See you down there?
Yeah, got it, mate. CQ19, we're past this road, Parswood Road now, we're 100 yards behind.
But the van is no match for the driver trying to get away.
It's just reeling him in, and when you get there, it's like, well, where is it?
When Fletcher and Bundy arrive, the car is nowhere to be seen.
So you sort of built all your adrenaline up like, right, I'm here, this is me, this is my job. Where's the bad guy? And he's like, well, he's still further down the road yet.
The police helicopter is still above the car, and they can see it's heading for a dead end.
As soon as he got past a point down the road, the only way out of there was to come back the way he came.
It's a dead end at the bottom of there.
Well, the likelihood was he was going to abandon the car.
Now the cops must catch up with the stolen car before the driver bails out. 20 miles north in Rochdale,
Are you okay?
PC Phil Cross has stopped a driver on a routine check.
Take it you're the driver of this vehicle, eh? I am, yes. Right, okay.
When PC Hannah Buxton sees something unusual behind her.
I saw a vehicle come quite quickly around the corner behind us, switch its lights off and then do a sharp left turn.
Silver Audi like how 54 went up there.
Yes, he switched his lights on again though, didn't he?
Oh, did he?
He switched them off, for whatever reason, switched them back on.
It was at that point that we decided to go and have a look and investigate further.
The cars pulled off onto a side street.
As we turned the corner onto K Browder, we saw it parked up on the near side with its lights off.
It's a lot as well.
Initially, when we saw the Audi pull over and the driver got out, you could just tell from his demeanour that something wasn't quite right. Was it your car?
Yeah.
No? What do you mean you just bought it?
I've just bought the car.
Right, just take a seat here for us to get a couple of details off you. Who have you bought it off?
I don't know.
Hey?
Local lad.
How much have you paid for it?
I think it was 3.5.
3,500? Where have you got your money from?
I had saved up.
So you've paid £3,500 for that car. How much do you think it's worth?
About 7, 8.
So why is it so cheap?
I don't know.
Huh?
Don't know.
Straight away I thought, no, it's not quite right, this. Obviously a vehicle in that condition of that year and all the rest of it, it will cost a lot more than that. At this moment in time, I believe that car to be worth more than £3,500. Okay. I must caution you and tell you that you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention, when questioned, something you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence, do you understand me? You're saying you paid £3,500 for this car?
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Yep.
And where have you got your money from?
I used to work. I saved it.
And how have you paid for it?
My cash.
Have you got a receipt? No. Have you got the logbook?
No, it's coming through the post.
Speaking to him, his answers were hesitant. There wasn't very much eye contact. He could see he genuinely wasn't comfortable. Where did you see the car advertised?
No, it's just that I've seen it in Bury, I think it was, and I've seen it pulled over. It has some for sale signs on it. So I mean, it was cheap. I don't know what's the problem with it.
The answers given didn't match up. You know, sometimes that's acceptable. The fact that you sat next to a policeman, that's fine. But he was trying to think on his feet, and he wasn't quick enough. So you've seen it in Bury for sale? And how much was it advertised at?
It was advertised for 4, but I've actually bought it down to 3.5.
Anna, just need to do a chassis check. He's saying he's paid £3,500 for it.
The 17-year-old has bought a bargain, but it doesn't add up. The car is just too cheap.
That, don't you?
In Didsbury, PC's Fletcher and Bundy are trying to catch up with the Toyota before the driver abandons it.
It's a dead end here, mate. Get out. Get towards it's all marshland.
India 99 is still above the car.
But is any police vehicles with it? Yeah, they are some distance behind.
And 2 marked police cars are closing in.
It's still continuing. Parswood Road is coming to the bottom of it. Stand by. Parswood Road, still stand by.
The driver they're following is travelling at over 60 miles an hour. Too fast for these narrow streets.
Yeah, he's done a left and lost it, and they're out on foot, left.
CQ9, they're out on foot. Left on foot.
The camera reveals 4 people in the car making a dash for freedom. The helicopter sticks with the driver to make sure he doesn't get away.
Yeah, the driver's running back towards Parswood Road.
Just when he thinks he's clear, Fletcher and Bundy arrive.
Just as we turned up, he then come to our near side and ran behind our vehicle, because he'd obviously doubled back away from his 3 mates and decided to run off the other direction. He's there, mate. He's there, mate. Let me out. He's there. So I'm shouting to Fletcher, stop his ears here, stop the car. Let me out. He's there.
And the chase, for Bundy at least, is now on foot.
The helicopter's above you. Get here.
He's only a little fella, but he's in his element. His head down, and off he goes. He's like a little Duracell bunny things.
He's got him down here somewhere. Mate!
Stop with the helicopter, you idiot. Put your hands on your back. Kneel down. Show me the other hand. Hey? No, relax it. Relax it. Just relax your hand. Hey? It's a good feeling, you know. That's what we want. That's what you get at. That's what everybody wants out of the job in our unit in particular. You know, we just want to go and catch criminals.
Sit down there. Sit. Sit down.
Sorry, mate.
Their attention can now turn to the car. It's not reported stolen.
Whose car is it?
My dad, mate.
Your dad?
Oh dear. Daddy's not going to be happy with you, is he?
The driver has admitted taking his dad's car without permission.
The lad's taken his dad's car. There's a bottle of drunk Jack Daniels in it, and they've been out for a bit of a Sunday night, and then seen the cops behind them and panicked. Not quite the same. Not quite the same as it driving a real car. They're not being on the PlayStation. It's not quite the same, is it?
I was playing PlayStation before, mate.
Yeah, you should have stayed on the PlayStation. Cause obviously, you're far better at that than you are
Same
driving.
crashes though.
I'd love to know what the conversation is at the car at the time. Is everyone telling him to stop? Is everyone telling him to get away? which he obviously isn't going to do. He's never going to outdrive the car, it's just his own ability and he hasn't got any.
The damage to his dad's car runs into thousands of pounds, but the crash could have been much more serious.
If there wasn't a car parked on the side of the road, it would have flipped. No doubt at all. If that car had been there to stop him, it'd have been rolling. And that's when you start looking at fatalities, because we've got too much speed, too little ability.
Back in Rochdale, the car Cross and Buxton have stopped doesn't appear to have been stolen either, but they're both suspicious.
It's just a hunch, really, that something isn't right, which makes you look that bit further than you would normally.
Road at Birmingham. Insurance held as required.
Buxton is checking the vehicle identification number.
Yes, Roger, can you just give me the last 5, please, on the chassis?
Plus 35956. Insured to PNC Keeper.
Yes, receive that, thank you.
Each vehicle has its own unique number, known as the VIN, which contains details about the make, model and registration. The number in the windscreen tallies with the car's registration plate, but Buxton's still not sure it's correct.
The visible VIN, which is on the windscreen, doesn't look particularly convincing. So obviously we'll have a look underneath the bonnet. There should be, it's stamped into the actual metal somewhere under the bonnet, the true number.
2 other cops have arrived to help out.
Obviously you've got the visible VIN number there.
But they're not usually white, they're usually etched onto the dash somewhere. They're not. That looks like it's been covered up. There should be one under the bonnet as well.
Yeah, so see where it is on here.
Is it on here or now?
It's on it, it's on here.
What you got?
There was a sticker with the VIN number on it, which was peeling off. I had a suspicion that the vehicle had been rung. By that I mean the identification numbers had been changed to match that of another vehicle.
If the Audi's identification has been changed, the chances are the car's been stolen. The driver has to be arrested and the car seized.
He's been arrested on suspicion of theft at this time. We'll get him in and find out exactly what's going on. It's not a bad, not a bad buy, that £3.5 grand for a nice motor like this.
I've got nothing to say, man. It's just someone stung me, someone stitched
Of course they have, haven't they?
If he's innocent, the 17-year-old will lose the car and the cash he paid for it.
Is it burglary?
His teenage mates will be going to the cells with him.
Yeah. Okay, so at the moment you're under arrest on suspicion of theft of motor vehicle. Alright? You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioning something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Do you understand that?
While the youths are taken to the police station, the car is taken to the pound for further examination. It's the following morning and the investigation continues. Martin Waitman from the Vehicle Examination Unit has been called in to find out if the car is stolen.
The Vehicle Examination Unit is essential. We need to be able to stop a vehicle, get our suspicions that it's a stolen vehicle and then pass it over to them. They then use all their expertise and confirm or deny its identity.
Martin's expert eyes immediately spot something suspicious.
The primary identification number of this car happens to be a stamped-in number on the offside inner wing. So come straight to that to see what's been done to it. And I can tell straight away that it's the wrong style of stamping. It just doesn't look right. It's got a layer of primer on it, which you shouldn't have. The fonts are all wrong on the stamping.
And he has a trick to find out if it's genuine.
In theory, it shouldn't. If this was correct, nothing should come off. But whap, there it goes straight away. See how it's brought up? Just you can see the shiny metal. I get another rag.
So that's the original number?
No. This just shows what they've done to it. That's going to be the original inner wing. It's had the number ground off, and they've stamped the false number in, and then they've painted primer over the top in some attempt to make it look legitimate. But
if you look at that number, it's quite a good...
oh, it's in line.
It's quite good, isn't it?
But if you look at the fonts, look at the security marks, look at the way in which it's been stamped so heavily into the surface. Nothing like.
The car ringers and the people who actually sell the wrong stolen vehicles play on the naivety, shall we say, of the car buying public.
Martin finds even more evidence of tampering.
The VIN sticker, which is adjacent to it, has been partly peeled off. Now, whether that's been done by officers at the scene or not, I don't know, but it shouldn't come off at all. It doesn't look right either. It should be silver, and it certainly looks to be white. So, with it displaying the same chassis number as is stamped on the wing, and as appears on the visible VIN, it looks like we've got a wrong vehicle, one that's had a false identity deliberately put onto it.
If you're an expert, it's surprisingly easy to discover a car's true identity, if you know what to look for.
You see how your original number underneath is sort of altered as I'm applying pressure.
Oh, there you go.
Right, there we go. There is the original visible VIN trying to appear underneath. And you can tell straight away the difference in the font and the style. There we go. Car identified.
The number matches up with a car stolen 40 miles away in Leeds. It's unlikely the young driver they arrested is involved. The sophisticated nature of the crime suggests it's part of something much more organised.
It's quite obvious that certain cars are targeted. The prestige, high performance, high quality, it's whatever's desirable on the market. You just know that it's only going to be a matter of time before they start getting stolen.
At their base in Eccles, to the west of the city centre, PC's Mike Bundy and Paul Fletcher have been called out to look for another expensive car that's been stolen. A high-performance Ford Focus ST worth over £20,000. The car's only a week old, but the good news is the owner has fitted it with a tracking device.
Yeah, it's a Focus ST stolen from Boothstown. They've got the track activation now. It's pointing towards the Weast area, Salford, just off the 602, so I'll make our way and see if we can pick it up. We've got tracker in our car, so...
Yeah, received M60 on next area as soon as you got it off.
The signal sent out by the car can be detected over a mile away. Fletcher and Bundy are headed to Salford to where it was last picked up. But pinpointing the exact location isn't easy.
So it's just at 2 o'clock. It's either moving or they're on the sort of the periphery of the signal. So we've got 4 cars in the air all coming in from different directions, so we can start pinning it down.
And the buildings aren't helping the cops search.
Signal sometimes bounces off buildings and in tight spaces. You think you're really on top of it, and in fact you're not. Showing to the right now. Go on here, mate. This one.
We'd come on the main road and the signal had gone really high, and then we'd gone into a set of flats behind that we knew they'd parked stolens in before.
Dropping right off.
It looks like a dead end.
That's always going to be it then.
It's not far away, it's just the other side of here somewhere.
Back at the vehicle examination unit, Martin Wakeman's expertise is being put to use again, this time at the request of the DVLA.
This morning we've got a van coming in for appointment. It looks like a traffic officer's received correspondence from Swansea saying there's 2 vehicles on the same identity, one in South Wales and one in Manchester. So he's basically had a look at the one in Manchester. He's not happy with it, and he's referred it through to us to have a closer look. The plan is to sort of examine his van and see if I can determine A, whether it's wrong, and B, if it is, what its true identity is. And then obviously we'll have to take it from there. Is it Mr. Jones?
No,
no,
not Mr. Jones, no, I'm just one of the drivers.
Oh, he's the boss, is he? Right.
Yeah. He'll be coming down very shortly.
Will he? Do you know how long he's had it? How long has the firm had this van?
Not that long.
And do you know where he got it from?
The Auto Trader.
Auto Trader?
Auto Trader, yeah.
Right.
The owner is coming in to find out if he has unwittingly bought a stolen van. It could be a very costly mistake.
The mere fact that we've contacted them, either to ask them, you know, for are they available for us to go and meet them, or to ask them to bring a vehicle in by appointment, they know straight away that something could be wrong with their car, and then there's an awful lot of anxiety between that first point of contact and when they finally bring the vehicle in to us.
What did you, when you bought it, did you look at any of the ID numbers, or was there a logbook handed to you? Or
there was a logbook, but I did look at the sticker on the front.
So you had the logbook, and did you sort of compare the identification number on the van with the one on the logbook? Did you compare that number there?
With that one, yeah.
With the one on the logbook?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as we've contacted them, the alarm bells start ringing. They remember little warnings that they chose to ignore at the time that they were buying the car.
And I wasn't suspicious in any way at first.
Yeah.
The only time I got a bit suspicious was when I took the logbook to the post office so that I could tax the vehicle.
Yeah.
And the girl behind the counter said, "This doesn't feel right."
Right.
But she spoke to the other girl who was with her, who's the post mistress, and she said, "No, I think it's okay," and put it through. So I thought, oh God, right.
But there's another clue which suggests this could be a stolen van with a new identity.
That's a favourite. That's a favourite, I'm afraid.
Because I know it is quite difficult to get number plates these days. It's not simple
Officially,
like it used to be years
officially
ago.
it is. If you're going to do it legitimately, yes.
Yeah.
But if you see anything like that, www.manufacturer.co.uk, chances are it's going to be fake.
But until a full check of all the numbers on the van is made, even Martin can't be certain.
Basically, this sticker, or the number on this sticker, relates to the registration on the van, registration plates displayed. But the stamped-in number doesn't. The stamped-in number, which is original to the manufacturer, it's not one that somebody else has put in. The stamped-in number is not the same as this. So, as a sort of quick fix, if you like, I'll check on the police computer what that chassis number relates to, and there's a good likelihood it'll come back to an outstanding stolen short wheelbase Iveco van.
Back in Salford, Fletcher and Bundy are still searching for the stolen Ford Focus fitted with a tracking device.
Someone been in here? If you do a left here at this pub, the Grey Mare, and go in the back to this housing flats here, I don't think... Every road we went down, we sort of covered all the cars. It just kept bringing us back to the same spot, which was this pub. To the left of that garage, mate, just drive in. As soon as the front wheels of the car went on the car park, the tracker went up a notch, and then all of a sudden it's, well, what's that in the corner? It's the only place we've not looked. It's in here. It's in the garage. You know straight away then that it's in that garage, and you've been doing all your puffing and panting, it's been there in the middle all the time. Just have a look, mate. It's in there.
There's something big and silver in there. 2309, Seeker.
2319.
Yeah, it's in the garage of the pub behind the Grey Mare, on the reg given.
Get a badge.
I take it there's nobody with it. Just confirm for me, nobody with this vehicle that you've located.
Yeah, that's confirmed, nobody with it. Cheeky gets, aren't they?
Well, it was taxed on the 28th September, so the car's literally just over a week old. 2 week old, isn't it? Salford, bless him.
Fletcher believes whoever took it wanted to use it to commit another crime.
The top of range Focus is the RS Focus, and it comes down to the ST, which is this. So, still a quick car. The area that it was in, and the type of car it was, there's only one thing that car was going to get used for, and that was an armed robbery. No two ways about it.
And it looks like Fletcher and Bundy have only just missed the thieves.
Oh, it's not been here long, so all the water's off the tyres.
They've obviously left the car, parked it in the garage, and it's quite conceivable that they were walking on that back on that main road as we've all gone past them 4 times because we've got this tracker signal.
At least the £20,000 car can now be returned to its rightful owner.
You can just go back to the owner, can't you, straight away?
At the police vehicle examination unit, Martin Wakeman is still trying to find out the true identity of a van worth more than £6,000. A quick check on the police national computer has confirmed his suspicions.
It's come in on a 51 plate, and it's a stolen 02 plate, stolen 22nd of April this year from Stockport in Manchester by means of burglary with keys.
For the innocent man who bought the van, it's not good news.
The van is a stolen.
Right.
It was stolen in April. You bought it from Whitefield.
Yes.
Whitefield in May.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not only that, but they took a vehicle from me in part exchange.
I'm going to make a note of, because I would imagine that's been passed on as well.
Correct.
Martin has no option but to confiscate the van.
I assume now that I've lost the vehicle totally.
Well, short term, certainly. Obviously,
Yeah.
short term, the vehicle has to remain here.
Right.
So I've got to find out whether there's an insurance company involved.
Right.
If there is, I've got to notify them and ask them what they want to do with it.
Right.
Because you are an innocent purchaser, you've got a financial interest in it. Do they, as the actual owners of that vehicle, want to negotiate with you to sell it back to you?
Right.
There's very serious implications for these people just because we've taken their wheels off them. And so it's something we have to be very mindful of. But as I say, ultimately we don't have a choice. If it's a stolen vehicle, we cannot allow them to take it away.
And it's the innocent man who pays the price.
You do the deal with the bloke, you come away, and then all of a sudden 5 or 6 months later you find out that your vehicle's not yours and it's not the one that you really bought. I've lost a vehicle. In fact, I've lost 2 vehicles. I lost the vehicle that I put in part exchange, and I'm losing this vehicle. And it really is incredible. It's just mind-blowing. We just need to get another vehicle and get ourselves sorted. Hopefully we take it from there. But it's a lesson learned. Hard lesson learned. Yeah.
It is worth millions. It is organised crime. It's not opportunism. All right, the initial theft of the vehicle might be opportunism, but what happens to it after that is organised, and it's without fear of exaggeration, it has to be a multi-million-pound nationwide, if not international industry.
At any one time, it's estimated that there are more than 40,000 stolen cars with false identities on Britain's roads.
We have got the organised crime groups that are making a huge amount of money by stealing high-performance cars and selling them on or exporting them from the country. And that's why we need to tackle it, because if we can identify these cars, we can bring these people to justice as soon as possible.
Those who stole and altered the van's identity have not been traced. The thieves who took the Ford Focus were never found. The driver and passengers of the Audi A3 Ringer were all released without charge. And the father of the 24-year-old chased by PC's Fletcher and Bundy decided not to make a police complaint.